We're gonna try out the new Ducati Monster for 2021 today, and it's a brand new motorcycle, so I'm very excited how it actually rides. So stay with me and I'll take you with me on the test ride. We are back in Stuttgart. We were riding around on nice twisty roads outside of Stuttgart, and it was really nice, but just freezing cold. But it was really worth it. It's a brand new motorcycle. I wouldn't actually compare it to the previous Monsters because it's just something very, very different. It still has some similarities, like if you look at the skyline, which is very Monster-like. You have that bison bag-shaped tank here and a round LED headlight and the Desmo V2 motor, which now is the 937cc motor that is also in the Hyper Motard or in the Supersport 950. But other than that, they changed a lot, and they changed a lot to improve the riding dynamics, and I can really tell you after riding it today, it's definitely a very big step if you compare it to the 821. And I was lucky that I could ride the 821 not too long ago. A friend of mine has it, and I totally get why he puts it in his living room during winter to just look at it and stare at it, and because it's so beautiful. And I do get that some people are a little upset that there is no more trellis frame, because it's just a very beautiful looking feature. But on the other hand, the new frame, which comes from the Panigale, is now way lighter, and they saved a total of 40 pounds or 18 kilograms on this bike compared to the 821 Monster, and that's a lot, and you can really feel this riding. This bike to me is way more accessible to a broader group of riders. Basically, you could say it has two souls, like one for the very sporty rider, likes to really go fast, and then also but to be accessible for newer riders, or if you want to just go to work with it. I really love this V2 Testa Strada motor. It has a lot of torque. It has 93 Newton meters at already 6,500, so it has more torque earlier than the, I think, 7 Newton meters less than the 821 before, and it's just fun accelerating out of corners. It goes really well. But yeah, this motor really feels well actually in higher ranges, so I could tell that I would rather ride in higher ref ranges. Also, this bike now is full of electronics. It has Ducati traction control, wheelie control, quick shifter up and down is now in the bike as standard, which I love, and it worked really well. I tried it out, really, really good. And also cornering ABS, launch control. So there's quite a lot in there. We have that 4.3-inch TFT display, which also comes from the Panigale. This bike has ride-by-wire, and it has different riding modes. It has the touring mode, the urban mode, and the sports mode. Sport mode is quite aggressive and has a very direct throttle response, and very nice if you want to ride sporty. And then there's the urban mode that cuts the power to 75 horsepower and has a different throttle valve opening time. And then also you have the touring mode, which I was in most of the time today because it's just a little smoother. I really liked the character of that mode. It's just very balanced, I would say. Or in general, the whole bike is way slimmer. And the first thing actually I noticed today when getting on it is that the steering angle improved so much. It improved by 7 degrees. And with the previous bike, I had the feeling, I don't know, it definitely felt heavier, but also it just felt bigger. They changed the position of the footrests, so you sit more upright, you have less pressure on the handlebars, and it's very comfortable, so I can even imagine it for longer tours. The seat is very different to the previous one. So the previous one actually put you like in a position, and it was hard to escape that position, and it kind of felt that you were sitting way back, and now you have the chance to actually move around on the seat, which I really like. And I think everyone who's taller appreciates that. But I also appreciate it for like longer tours when my butt starts to hurt at one position, so I can move back or to the front more. So now if I sit on it, that slim part makes it easy for me to reach the ground. This is the standard version, the standard seat version with 820 millimeters seat height. You can also get a lower seat and also lower the suspension. And the lowest you can get with this setup would be 775, and the highest with a high seat would be 845. So I think for every person, no matter which height you are, there will be something that fits you well. So that's a really cool thing about this bike. That's the cool thing, like I'm 1.69 meters. So I think it really speaks to tall riders, but also to smaller riders like me. And as I said, there's the option to have a lower suspension or just a lower seat or a higher seat. But I think this looks good, and I think for me it worked well in this setup. The suspension is by Kayaba, and we have 130 millimeters in the front with an upside down fork and 140 millimeters in the rear. It is not adjustable, only adjustable in the preload, for the preload in the back or in the rear. And that is good if you go with luggage or a passenger. And the suspension, all in all, was really good. So there's two versions of the Monster and the Monster Plus. The Monster Plus actually just has two features different or more than the normal Monster, and it comes with a fly screen here. It's a little fly screen, and it has a passenger seat cover, but that's about it. And it's available in 3 different colors: in this Ducati red with black rims, in an aviator gray with red rims, and in a dark stealth, which is like a black version with black rims. It also has a Bluetooth connectivity system, but for me personally, I don't need it. I don't want to have in the display that I get a message or something, because I don't know, for me riding is like an escape and I don't want to be distracted there on my display. But I mean, it's nice to have it, or have the option. What's also very nice is that we now have adjustable brake and clutch lever for my small hands. That's a very nice feature. We also have a hydraulic clutch. Should save around 20% effort to pull the clutch, and that's especially for longer rides. That's a nice thing to have here. All right, I think that's it. What comes to my mind right now. It was really nice riding it today. It's very agile, it rides so well, it's so easy to handle. It's amazing, and it's very sporty and very dynamic. And actually Ducati sticked with the initial thought of the Monster to combine a superbike derived frame with a road-focused motor. And that's what they did back then. And then they actually went a little away from the path, because for the new Panigales they used this aluminium frame for a while now, and now they actually got back to this initial thought. Now we have the frame of the Panigale combined with a road-focused engine, the nice Desmo V2. Just try it out yourself. You will be impressed how easy it is to ride and how nice it feels, how dynamic it is. And yeah, it's always a matter of perspective. I mean, if you are more into that nostalgic thing and you really just want to have that trailless frame, then just get a used 821 and you love it. It's such a beautiful bike. But if you're more into, you want something that can keep up well with the competitors, then this might be the bike for you.